Hello, welcome to Trucking Answers live on Christmas. It's the Christmas show. How about that? 1 hour of big time Christmas. Thank you everybody for being here. I see there's tons of people in the chat already. People got to work. I need to be out here working too. What's going on? We got just a few things to talk about. We'll see what you guys want to talk about, of course. Let me get things up for people that are not here. I'm not normally here on Wednesday, but here we are today on Wednesday. It's Christmas Live. Ryan was first on Monday. Thank you for that. And the President, George H.W. Bush, was first today. I appreciate you being here first, Mr. President. Thank you very much for that. And let's see if I can do some clickies here. All right, there we go with that. And there we go. All right, so Michael Muller's here. Thank you for that. Ruth, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it very much, and thank you for being here. Michael Cole, hello there. Michelle is here. Pagan Day, right? I love it, right? Rich Camp, hey, what's happening? Trucking wife number one, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you saying that today. It's going to be a great day. Christina is here. Hello, and good afternoon here. Misty is here. What's going on? Thank you for that. I love having you here. Steel Horse, hello there today. What's happening on Christmas? Merry Christmas to everybody. Wild Bill is here today. To see as I go down here, Mike Scott, Merry Christmas to everyone. All right, so Chris 76, Merry Christmas. Mike Scott, okay, wash the right. Let's get that going on. I'll leave that right there, of course. Ralph, hello there. Yeah, today is not a bad day to get a shower. There's usually not that many people in there today. Hunsley, hello. Dewey's Trucking, hello there. Alexander, what's going on? Chef Matt, I love it. Preparing for a new adventure. I already understand the dangers of fixing broken equipment. Yeah, I don't like to fix the broken equipment, that's for sure. Donald, working on I-90. It's foggy in South Dakota. They closed Midway yesterday in Chicago, which is an airport in Chicago. They grounded all flights for a while due to the fog. Wow, it didn't make it all the way down here to Lafayette, but it was really something. Oh, really? Well, Bill Nice had Who Do I Die For? Well, since we're in an abbreviated day here today, I never tell people who I drive for. That keeps them out of my videos. For people that aren't here, I'm not normally on Wednesday, so, that keeps them out of my videos, and I don't recruit for the company either, so that keeps them out of all the recruiting disaster that I see so much out here. I just think that works out better. NSK Pool Insurance going up to $4.9 million per truck. Yeah, that's more of an owner-operator. I'm just a company driver, just a lowly company driver, as people say. But I'm sure it's going to be an effect of higher costs. And I don't know if that'll actually make it all the way through, if that will get, challenged, that kind of thing. It's going to be a big cost, and that's part of doing business, unfortunately. And some people go out of business, and that will let rates go up. That's how it works, but it's not great. For single truck owners, that's going to be the biggest problem. It's going to be a huge problem. J.D. Forney, Merry Christmas. Michael Scott got paid $28.05 an hour for 8 hours today and yesterday. That's pretty good. Not bad to not work. Drives for Santa's Workshop, right. You're not allowed to say that, exactly. I did watch the NORAD tracker. That was pretty interesting, watching Santa go around. Columbia, George. Greetings, truckers and wannabes. I made my donation to St. Christopher Fund. I appreciate that. And for those of you that did donate, the St. Christopher Fund appreciates it, and I do too. I did meet my goal. I wanted to get $500 for them and did. So thank you very much for that this year. I think I'll do that every year for them. And you can remember, you can donate year-round to the St. Christopher Fund. Certainly, it's a great organization. So if at some point during the year you want to donate, they would love that too. Well, Bill, that's the worst fog you've ever seen. I know it. When they close the entire airport, that's a real problem, especially this time of year. So, Donald, I do love JB Hunt. They're one of my favorite companies. 2 live shows in 1 week. It's a present to you for the year. Well, I appreciate that, certainly. Andrew at 79 in Clearwater. Wow, it's going to be 60 degrees here today. Record high temperature for today. So, loving that. No snow on the ground here today, certainly. I drive for GP Transco. Get back with. No, I don't drive for GP Transco. I tell you, I would certainly consider it if to go back on the road. Certainly, maybe I could get one of those teal trucks that apparently I promised everybody else. Nathan, Merry Christmas from North Dakota. Just popping in. Thanks for a great year. Looking forward to live chats in the new year. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I hope to see you there. I do these for people that are not here. I do these on Mondays. So every Monday live. It just happens to be a special day, right? Donovan, Merry Christmas. Nathan, so where did I go here? Hunter, I lose my place quite often, too, for people that aren't here. For people that are here, like, oh, that's just Mark losing his place. Hunter Brown, good afternoon. Merry Christmas. It's good to see you. Peterbilt 379 is here. How about that? Merry Christmas. What's going on down there today? What did I have here? I got some kind of... I don't know if I put this out there or not. How about this, right? This can start to show off in the right way. So there we go with that. That's pretty good. I saw that. I got a couple more of those here. Romulo, nice. Merry Christmas in Indiana. Going to pick up a load and shout out to night transportation drivers. Yeah, is night pay anything extra if you're over there? And where are you getting a load on Christmas Day? Is it in the yard or what's going on with that? Doing good here, Peterbilt 379. As always, James Edwards. Peace on earth and goodwill to all. Back in your 18-wheeler. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And that is what we should all strive for, right? Maybe the next year we can treat each other a little bit better and pass on some information, right? So thank you very much for that. Chef Matt, I-90 near the Spokane airport, possibility of patchy fog, and it's chilly. It was apparently Chicago was like totally fogged in. They closed the entire Midway, which is a huge hub up there. It's crazy. NSK, RIP to all truckers. I don't know about that, certainly. However, what is a good, fat, bad truck company? I don't know what that means. All right. Do you know FedEx Ground still runs a Sterling? No. I didn't know anybody still ran a Sterling other than the I-80 truck stop when they move it around in the museum. Merry Christmas, Casey. Silos, Merry Christmas. First to last time I work a holiday, but CFA pays me $120 for the day and $15 towards a meal. All right, look, there's a lot of people today that aren't getting paid anything that are working, or some people are going to sit and not get paid anything at all, and that's even worse. So I'll take the $120 and a meal from CFI and be happy with it. As long as you want to work that day. It was supposed to rain for Christmas here, but rained the last 2 days. It's sunny. I assume the car wash is a disaster today. It's so warm today. Caleb, what's going on? Todd, Merry Christmas from Benton, Arkansas. Merry Christmas to you. It's good to see you. I'm glad you made it back today. My black adopted senior cat Swoosh. Oh, says Merry Christmas to Gracie. It's nice here in South Bend. Isn't it a great day today? And let's see. Let's get her over here. Where'd she go? Right there's Gracie, right? And she appreciates that very much. She's about between 7 and 8, the vet said. So we got a little ways to go on her yet. It was foggy this morning south of Dallas, Texas. Flatbed, Farva flatbed companies. Oh, flatbed companies. Well, I always do like Maverick as a flatbed company gets started. Ruth, beautiful. And thank you very much for that earlier, Ruth. I appreciate that. Before the show started, you were in there. D. Rye, I really thought this was going to be a Roland Reiner Yule log stream. I wish. That would be really good, wouldn't it? Michael Muller looks like a Super 10. Wow. That Super 10 might be in that Sterling running for FedEx. Peterbilt 379 got a new gaming laptop. Sweet. We'll see you on Star Trek Online on PC. All right. Brian O'Brien, Feliz Navidad. Jeff, GP Transco should give me a teal truck just because. That would be great. At least I could see one then. Know that they're really real. They're almost like Santa, I just have to believe in them. I don't see them. I just believe that they're there. Did I ever drive a Marmon? I never have driven a Marmon truck. I've only seen them at truck shows. And once in a while earlier when I started driving, I would see them at truck stops. Never got to drive one. Mad Maldy, happy Christmas. It's good to see you there. Farva, Huevos Rancheros, right. Something, Huevos, eggs, I think. That was 7th grade. It's just not coming back to me. Christina, Coke used to do that with their semis, but no more. Yeah, they had a few pictures of those. Coke did that for a while, but I guess they've gotten rid of that. Edward, Merry Christmas out of Gulfport, Mississippi. Well, you're having a good day down there, too. Here's the president, George H.W. Bush. Hello there. Fort Wayne to Grand Rapids today, not working. All right, not working is always a good day. What's a favorite Star Trek original series episode? I like the Let This Be Your Last Battlefield. Probably would be my favorite one. It's just a classic episode. Can't you see that man is white on the left side? I mean, it's just incredible. It's a good take on what society was going through then, and even today, really some. But I really like that one. Probably is my favorite original series episode. Trucking wife number 1, it's 45 degrees in Wisconsin. That's pretty good for today, don't you think? I even got a message that in 2016 it was 62 degrees today. So we've had a few years here where it's nice and warm. Thanks to Greta Thunberg for that. I appreciate it. Aldebert, Schneider, and Pendleton, Oregon right now. Roads are good. It looks like most of the country is going to have a great day of driving. If you're out driving, hopefully the scales are closed today. Does anybody see an open scale today? I hope not. Let's try to get the most paid holidays we can for the people that run the scales. I think that's something we should all get behind. Michael Muller sees Sterling and Ford Romex road trucks. Really? I don't see them around here at all. Maybe they all rusted out up here. Lato Dectrera will let that Mississippi. Merry Christmas from Missouri at 62. Isn't it great today? It's amazing, really, how we got it, how good we got it here today. Alexandra, next year I'm going home for Christmas. Yeah, try and get home if you want to. If you want to stay out, hey, at least you don't have to. Should be up to you. James Edwards, it's a bright Christmas. Went home leaving the gun range. Nice. And Caleb, sweet. Happy holidays from California. The state has nothing but criminals and the local government. Yes, and they're in the news for this AB5 thing, of course. There's more of that. Universal just laid off a bunch of drivers due to what they say is AB5, even though they got busted and had to pay a huge settlement for misclassifying drivers. Right. Red Monkey Trucking is here. Hello there, Merry Chrysler and Happy Honda Days. Oh, man, I see tons of those ads. I will say it's not a bad time to buy a car. Get out there and do some shopping. It's 51 in Bordentown, New Jersey at the Petro. Wish weather stays like this all winter. We've got like the next 7 days are going to be 50 degrees here. It's really something. There's no snow in the 10-day forecast here. Well, Bill, your work is so near to Midway that the planes are so close I could throw a rock and hit them. The fog was worst around 7. Yeah, you wouldn't have hit him yesterday, though, right? Because Midway was closed. And do you agree? Was it foggy enough to close the airport? Are truck hijackings as bad as they used to be? No, I don't think so. Once in a while you get one of them little Hondas that runs underneath your car, 7 of them under your truck and 7 of them come up. But no, you don't really hear about them much. And that kind of thing would make the news. Backwoods, FedEx has the contractor approach to their business. Most people that work for FedEx actually don't technically work for them. They are a vendor that works for the contractor that is contracted out. Yeah, that's how a lot of places do it to get out of liability and paying all the stuff that they would otherwise pay, like workman's comp and all that. A lot of companies do that kind of thing, and it basically isn't right. The Subaru plant here in town has got billboards. They're hiring for the plant, but they don't hire for the plant to work in there. You have to work for a temp service for a year at least before they hire you, because they said they reduced it to only 1 year before they're considering hiring you. That's ridiculous. Chef Matt, for me, my relocation is going to be an awesome adventure. Yeah. Where are you going? The shocker today, Mark, is the ho host. Well, I'll take that. I see a lot of GP Transco trailers being pulled by owner-operators. GP does have owner-operators. So just so you know, they do take owner-operators if you have a truck and want to talk to them. I don't know what the program, the pay or anything is there for that. I actually never looked into it. But I do know they also put owner-operators on. I don't know how many they have, but they do have owner-operators too. So my cat is sold. We signed her up for Social Security. Oh, that's pretty awesome. The last couple cats I had made it into around 15, 16 years old. So that's good. Keep that cat going strong. Then it gets really expensive. The vet, well worth it. Welcome back is here. I see you sent a picture of a teal truck. I know, I saw that. I couldn't believe it was actually in Indiana, in Gary, and hopefully it was on the move out of there. I've just never seen one. Andy's World, Merry Christmas from Nevada. Mark, I may need to get a truck and paint it teal. That'd be the only way I'm going to get a teal one, apparently. Because I haven't, even though they have them around there, I've never seen one. God bless Ronald Reagan. We miss him. Donald Romano. As an aside, as a kid, a teenager, kind of like the Michael J. Fox character, right? I had a picture of Ronald Reagan in my bedroom growing up in high school. So, because we visited the White House and they sell all the pictures at the gift shop, and I got a picture and they got a frame for it and hung it up. Tony, Merry Christmas from San Antonio. Wilbon, Feliz Navidad, and E Todos Los Trucking Answers fans. I'll take it, even though I'm not 100% sure of what I just said. Alexandra, Southport to Chicago today. Hey, at least they're rolling you. There's a lot of people that, want to work, and then they get stuck out and sit anyway. So at least you get to roll. Hopefully the scales are closed, too. Mad Hatter, Merry Christmas. Well, Bill, oddly, Mark buys a new car every 6 months, but never a teal one. That's true. Right. I haven't had a teal one in some time. We had an Aerostar that was green, in the 90s. So Scales in Oregon are open. You know, you should go in there and say, look, what is going on? It's a federal holiday. Do you guys never take a day off? Maybe bring in some Christmas cookies to them or something. South Dakota by Rapid City is open and inspecting. Oh, those guys got to be mad, too. What kind of an inspection are you going to get on Christmas? They have to come in and work on Christmas? Yikes. ABF Freight runs some of them down there, maybe. They're not running those here. Because of your weather, I think it protects them better. Trucker Hershey, big blizzard coming, 20 inches of 40-mile-an-hour winds. Where's that? 27th to the 30th. Oh, Nebraska. All right. Well, get the heck out of there. It's not going to make it here. I guess it's going to go over here. We don't have anything scheduled in the forecast as bad weather. James, Merry Christmas from Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. What's going on in Brooklyn? You can go see the tree down there. Are you going to go down to Manhattan and see the ball drop? YRC has a few Sterlings left. They're not running them up here. Here in the South, Coca-Cola still runs Volvo whites. Wow, the white GMC 90s to early 2000s. Well, they better pay pretty good if they're keeping a truck 20 years or 30 years. You know, they can at least put that into driver pay then. Alexander, buy a car. Your car is 17 years old. Time to get down there for Happy Honda Days. As they said there, I get guaranteed pay, and I'm really upset if it's been a nice winter. So far, I want nasty weather to get paid to sit. Oh, that's right. So, you know, on bad weather, on a guarantee, you can get paid even if you don't make it or whatever. So you have to actually work for that guarantee. Gustavo, global warming. Right, Merry Christmas. Here it is, the global warming this year, and it's doing a great job. I love it. I wish it would get a little bit warmer. Definitely too... Oh, so it was too foggy to stay open at the airport. All right. Don't worry, we get frozen out the beginning of next year. Well, look, we're almost to spring already. Is that why I see a lot of older trucks pulling FedEx? I don't get them up here. All our beet juice salt gets to them. With GPS, they don't get away with hijacking trucks. That's true. They know where the truck is. Plus, they got that driver, remember, from U.S. Express? He jumped on the back of his own truck on his catwalk after somebody took it. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. Hey, have at it, I tell him. But he did it. That was in the news a while ago. Stopped at Myrtle, South Dakota for hot dog time, Donald Romano. All right, even though it's Wednesday, it doesn't mean you can't have a roller wiener. Ricky Stewart, any recommendation for companies that offer CDL training? Yeah, where do you live? James Faust is bah humbug. Where in the, what the heck is going on? Where in the United States do you live? Merry Christmas from Ohio. It's supposed to be 60 degrees today. I know, isn't that great? I saw Teal GP Transco on I-80 in eastern Indiana. Nice, 11:30. Maybe they only run during the day to avoid you. I think they do that. They go, where is Mark going to be? Oh, they probably have planted a tracker or something in there. They only send white trucks near me, usually white Volvos. I see those. Colonel Sanders is here. Wow, I didn't know you're open today. Merry Christmas. I wish I could send you some free chicken. I wish you could too, and some of your coleslaw, because they have the best coleslaw going. I've seen TLGP Transco trucks multiple times off I-65. I go up and down I-65 every day. I never see them. Columbia, George. I see their white ones sometimes on 41 over there, but that's it. Does your company have a pet policy? I want to have a couple of tribbles because they don't require a lot of space. I have a tribble at home here, but I don't take it to work, and they do say no pets, so I probably couldn't take it with me. They're kind of quiet, I guess. Maybe they wouldn't notice. I have one here at home. I'm going to Missouri because the whole West Coast is a crapshoot. Meh, that's true. Double time on Christmas, that's really good. At least you're getting paid extra. Gustavo, the scales are open in California, but they insist they don't have quotas. Yeah, there's no quotas there. No quotas, just like the police. There's no ticket quota or anything. You were offered a teal truck but took the Volvo instead. Really? So you're at GP Transco then, is that what you're saying? George Wilson, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and Happy Festivus from Montgomery, Illinois, Midwest, Tribbles. Truck will be full in 2 days. Yeah, you have to have, as long as you have 2 of them. Are Tesla trucks even out yet? No, they haven't even started building them yet. They just said that they're going to start in 2020 now to build the truck. So they haven't even built any yet. Alpha's back to the yard from Apopka, Florida. There's some fine bourbon at home calling your name. Oh, nice. Timothy, Merry Christmas. It's good to see you internationally. How's it going over there? Michael Muller bought your wife a 07 Jeep Commander, and I'm taking her '06 Commander. Well, so she gets a 1-year upgrade, a 1-year upgrade on the Commander. They don't make them anymore, so you have to buy a used one, I guess. When did Starsky Robotics lay drivers off? Right, so earlier this month, I just read this today, it just came out, that Starsky Robotics, and I have a picture of one of the trucks, you can see what I'm talking about. This is a Starsky Robotics truck. Look at all the fancy stuff up there, right? Because it's an automated truck and everything. Okay, so Starsky Robotics laid drivers off. And they laid off a bunch of drivers just by telling them, hey, you drive your truck up to the leasing company, which they didn't say what it is, but it looks like it's got a little rider sticker on it. So it looks like it's a rider lease up in the corner, but it's hard to tell, and they didn't say what it was. But we do know that they're all leased because Starsky said they lease their tractors from leasing companies. So they talked to one of the drivers there, and I guess they told her she had been home and they were going to assign her a load, but then they said, drive your truck to the leasing company and drop it off, and your services, quote, are no longer needed. She showed the letter in the article. I love it. And this is what she said, which I'm surprised at as a driver. This is the best job I've ever had. If I make the miles, then I can earn as much as 50 cents a mile. Well, I don't know. That's not a great job. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not like 30 cents or whatever, but you'd think they would pay more for that to get better drivers. I don't know. They didn't say how much experience she had. I don't consider 50 cents, if you make the mileage quota, to be certainly a great amount of pay. Starsky said the reason that they had to lay people off, by the way, is not what you would think. Oh, the economy or whatever. No. Equipment repairs were costing them too much. That's exactly what I've said. So this equipment repairs and insurance, they actually mentioned as well, were costing them a fortune to keep these trucks running. Because any one of those cameras on top of that truck go haywire, wonky, don't point right, none of the autonomous stuff works right. And so they couldn't keep them fixed enough, and so they weren't making any money, and they had to lay people off. Autonomous trucks are not the panacea that all the people in the industry want you to think it is. It is not happening, and Starsky's laying drivers off now because they can't keep their trucks on the road because of all the repairs that the equipment is taking. That's according to Starsky themselves. And they said, if they can get all this figured out, we may be calling drivers back at some point in 2020. That's what they said. But right now for Starsky, laying drivers off. I love it. Believe me, folks, this is decades away. They can't even get the stuff figured out yet. They got to lay people off. James, I did the New Year's Eve thing at Times Square years ago. It's crazy. I can't imagine doing that kind of thing. Alexander, the Carson broke it down yet, and I only buy American products, so I always buy a GM or Chevy. Well, I hear you. Look, our Escape made right in Louisville at a Union plant, and my Sonic also is the smallest car made in the United States. So both of my cars, U.S.-made cars. I hear you, right. I would consider a Jaguar, but those are the two cars that I have, and they're made right here in the United States at Union Rim plants. It's White Castle Wednesday. James Faust, every day is White Castle Day, and I read that many White Castles are open today, too. Roller Wiener Hump Day, right. 8 hours holiday pay for today and yesterday, but I worked 6 hours at time and a half yesterday. Well, you're doing pretty good. Speaking of U.S. Express, I passed a nice red truck of theirs yesterday. Yeah, they seem to have several red trucks. Trucker Pass says Mount Eagle is open. That's awesome. I figured most of the scales would be closed. Those are always the best days to run. If you can get a good load, you can just cruise it across the country without having to worry about this stuff. Alexander spoke with a recruiter at GP Transco, and on their owner-operator program, they pay straight 80%. Oh, okay. So I guess it depends what they're getting for a rate, whether you make any money, right? If you wear it, make it a parrot. Exactly. If you wear it, always make a parrot out of it. And there is my parrot. I always forget about them, right? Blue parrot. Get a blue parrot today. Don't hold your phone up to your ear. I see people doing this all the time. What are you doing? In cars, too. Come on. Get a headset on. I agree with you on the coleslaw. Oh, my gosh. KFC, come on. It's the best coleslaw at any restaurant. I haven't found at any restaurant that's better. None. It doesn't matter how high-end a restaurant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. Where you buy it, it's the best. Ricky Stewart, any recommendations for companies that offer CDL training in Virginia? All right, what do we think about Virginia? Merry Christmas, everyone. What are the teal trucks? Well, GP Transco says they have teal trucks. This is their picture, right, that I grabbed. And those are the teal colored trucks, which I really like. And then I thought, these are going to be great. And I've yet to see one in person. So, and then they said on the Monday show that I told people that they're going to be guaranteed a teal truck, which I don't do. I don't know what truck you're going to get there. I don't have any say in that. I don't work for them. So, and I still haven't even seen one of their teal trucks. I like them, and then I don't even get to see one. Homemade coleslaw is best. I can't find any homemade coleslaw that beats KFC. I just cannot. I don't know what they put in it. I don't know if they're putting something in it, to hook you on it. I don't know. Carlos, Merry Christmas from Phoenix, heading home after a month. Oh, it's time to go home and see what's going on back at the house. Allura is here. Happy holidays, Mark. Thank you for saying that and for being here. Appreciate you seeing you here. She wrote a great blog for my blog over there, and you should all go read it at truckinganswersnation.com/blog and check her out at Red Monkey Trucking. Trucking Journeys. Ricky Stewart, do you have a CDL? Right. Okay. Trucking Journeys, where are you? What do you think about Roadrunner? I think they're going to close pretty soon. I'll tell you that, Jonathan. They're on my death watch list. Now, I don't have any kind of insider information, and I'm not a stock trader, but I'll tell you this. Some company that where stock is worth a third of what it used to be, who lays off hundreds of drivers, who has to sell parts of their company, and where their COO quits, is not a place I'd be willing to risk my career. I think they're going to go down. But they could be, like I said about Celadon, they could pick it back up and make it. But Celadon didn't, and I don't think this place will either. I'd personally, they might or might not make it. I'd leave. I'm not going to risk being stuck somewhere. I just am not. But that's me. People stayed at Celadon. Dope Law, I'm 31 years old. What's a good local driving job that you know in Indiana? Near Indianapolis. Oh, yeah, in Indianapolis, Old Dominion. They're down there. They advertise all the time. There's Yellow down there. Holland. I mean, they're right down the street here. They're an hour away. There's tons. ABF. All kinds of local jobs in Indianapolis that advertise. Yellow Roadway. Everybody's down there. Hogan is down there. Merry Christmas, Uncle Mark, when I come by for my gift. Yeah, soon. You'll be by for your gift soon. Yeah. That's pretty good, right? Why are all the cameras on there? What? Oh, on that truck, Starsky, it's an automated truck. It drives itself down the road. And if any of those cameras have any kind of problem, the truck needs to go in for repair. We've never had issues with our Commander. The one I got is only 50,000 out. That's low, right? And dealer maintained for 5,000, can't beat it. I agree. Right, look, you're on the other side of the camp from me, where you take a used car, low mileage. Low mileage is not necessarily great either on a car when it's super low. You never know how much it's sat or whatever. The car I take to work, it's 3,000-4,000 miles a year. That's not great for it. My tires on my car have tons of tread on them. They're all cracked on the side. They're all dry rotted and cracked out. I wouldn't be able to drive it any distance until I put some tires on it. The Flintstones are the most eco-conscious family ever. Yeah, they don't burn any fossil fuels. Merry Christmas. Acceleration rules. For more electrical crap they put into trucks, the more problems you get. Well, imagine, plus all the cameras, sensors, radar, LiDAR, and everything that's on these things. And then they can't just take that and get it fixed at like a TA. You have to have specialty repairs on the truck, which are very expensive, and they can't get the thing going. Take the unemployment money, yes. Acceleration rules will take a Toyota. They don't run union shops usually. Ricky Stewart. CDL permit with air brakes. I miss trucks with a 2x2-inch fuse box and hate a fuse box that's a foot long and 5 inches wide. Yeah, because they have so many electronics, so they have so many fuses. You saw Werner Freightliner the other day had a regular mirrors, but also had a camera above each door where they had an iPad displayed attached to each A-pillar inside the truck. Thought it was a stupid thing. Right, because in the United States, they don't allow you to only have the camera. You have to have mirrors still. But they're working on changing that law to where you will not have the outside mirrors. You'll just have a display inside the truck and a small camera outside the truck. And they said that's to save fuel. I don't know how much fuel that saves. Probably over hundreds of thousands of miles. It's worth it. But when the camera goes out, or if that iPad goes out, you don't have a mirror. And it's not like you can just go buy a mirror and tape it up there or whatever. You won't have a mirror. So they're going to have to make it where it works. The idea is then you won't get covered with ice and snow and rain and everything like they do now. So because for some reason the Cascadia, it's probably its biggest problem, I think. When it rains, the water covers the mirror. It's a stupid design. Anytime you use the windshield washer or anything, the water covers the mirror. You can't see anything. Brilliant. This would solve that problem as long as that thing works. Columbia George bought a 2018 Sonic New and loved the heated seats. Yeah, mine's a 13, but also an LTZ. Heated seats, wonderful. Isn't it great? Remote start. Beautiful. Love it. They hardly sell any of them, so you also have an unusual car. But it's turned out to be a really good car. Chris Powell, Merry Christmas to all drivers. Implementation would distract newer drivers as easily as well as to be bright at night. Well, I think that the mirror would be able to be controlled in its brightness, just like the display and everything else. Charleston, Tennessee loves enjoying Christmas. Not all. So what do you know about Hogan? I know that in Indianapolis, they hire tons of local jobs. Some say home every other day. Some say home every day. They are like a logistics company like Penske Logistics and all these other places. And so you'll be assigned to a customer, whatever it is. Bread. There's a big bread account down there, I guess, because I've seen their ads. And you do that all day. And so you're assigned to that, and that's what you do. They run ads at $1,100 to $1,600 a week, home daily or every other day. So it's certainly worth calling to see what they might have in your area if getting home more often is something you want to do. Popeyes has the best biscuits. I don't have a Popeyes here to compare, so there's no Popeyes in Lafayette. PA tolls are going up and Breezewood is shut down. No, I'm really not going east of Ohio. I did see that the tolls are going up. Hopefully company drivers won't have to pay it. It's a problem if you're running for your own truck, right? Mount Eagle's not a weigh station, it's a brake check station. Oh, is that what we're talking about up there? Right. Just stop the line and keep going. That's probably what most people do, right? Teal is more green than blue. Those are blue. They said teal, and I see teal. This is one of those, maybe we all see it differently, but it's supposedly a teal truck, and I'm agreeing with teal. Best way to get into car hauling? Yeah, road. There are a couple of places that will let you come in with no experience. I can't think of the name of it. I did a video about it. Boy, holiday, I can't think of anything. There's a company, which I'll think of as soon as the show's over. Right. It's on the videos. Ricky Stewart, if you're looking for local Inc., Swift has an academy in Virginia. Swift will not be the best pay. That's true, but you can get in there. Secret recipe, Colonel Sanders. Oh, I know you keep it in different safes. I would never ask for the recipe, but I just keep coming in there and buying the stuff. Wild Bill's not seen one of their teal trucks either, and you're 3 miles from the terminal, and you went to the terminal. You said you visited and didn't see a truck there either. Chris Powell, Merry Christmas. It's good to see you. Roller Wieners, White Castle. Sounds like Marcus a fast food king. Hey, the coleslaw is good for you. That's what I keep telling myself. Brown's chicken is tangy coleslaw. Is what you prefer. I don't have a Brown's chicken here either. Alexander prefers sauerkraut and sausage. That would be the German coming out. Right, the wife, Polish, right when we go to places on last Saturday, we had a lot of that over there. They had sauerkraut and stuff up and the family there. Did you ever mention where your truck was in the shop? Yeah, it had 5 dash lights. So it had a fan clutch that was broken. Basically, the fan was coming off. That was one reason. But then it derated itself to the DEF problem. So we got a DEF light. And then I had a bunch of other lights come on. There's a bunch of sensors went bad apparently at the same time. By the time I got to the shop, I was going 45 miles an hour. And they kept the truck. They kept it for like 5 weeks and then said it was done. I started it and all the lights are still on it. And they go, oh, we have no idea why that is, right? And so I didn't take it. And in another week, it was done. And I picked it up after they closed. So I didn't get to talk to anybody. I don't know what they did to it. It didn't have any fuel or DEF in it, hardly any. They drained it all out. Presumably they replaced a bunch of DEF stuff because that was the main problem with it. But they never said because I picked it up after they closed. A lot of times I'm in there when the shop is closed, and so there's nothing more I can do about it, really. I don't get to find anything out. It is time for a cat break, of course. So I don't know what happened to it. How do you tell between a Freightliner Evolution and a 2016? Well, the Evolutions say Evolution on them. On the door. If you're looking for a great over-the-road starter company, you'd say Werner. All right. Finally stopped for the day at the Petro in Toledo. $5.50 on Christmas Day. That's already good. And good. It's early, too. Do I run reefer? I have run reefer. I do not now. Just dry vans, the way to go. Adrian, what do you think? A laser light hooked to a mirror so for night parking at truck stops. I don't know how that would work. Werner's a good company with good equipment and miles. The only thing is not great pay. That's a lot of the starter places. You get started, and then after a year, you can go get some good pay somewhere. Ricky Stewart, thank you. Merry Christmas. The tires on your 77 Chevy are original and 32,000 miles on it. Oh, my God, I would never take that anywhere at any speed. I just have to look at my tires for, 5 years. Now there's eggnog. Not here, I hope. I'm not a big fan of it. Alexander has 250,000 miles on your car. Wow. That's really something. It would take me forever to do that. Even the wife's car, which is where we travel in and stuff, we put 7,000 miles a year on that. Too much tech. The more tech in trucks nowadays, there's tons of it in there. Merry Christmas from YRC. There's a place right there. And you're probably off for the day. You send people over there all the time. Electronics never lasts. I trust mirrors before I trust the tech. That's the problem with the mirror thing. I'm not a big fan of the mirror part of it. You know, I like technology, but you're replacing a mirror with a screen. If the screen goes out, you don't have a mirror. You can't, it's not like you can just start changing lanes. I don't know what you do. Will Trans Am be the next big carrier to fall? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. They're on death watch. What do you know about them that I don't know? Thomas, happy holidays. The Starsky truck reminds me of the Good Buddies and the Hoods that have more decorative metal than an amputated World War II. Right, exactly. All that stuff on there is not necessary. It's funny. They're trying to take the mirrors off the truck to save fuel. And then what do? Put 50 cameras on the top of the truck. That cannot be very aerodynamic. If they stop the tax credit for felons and minorities, Western will fall. If they stop any tax credits, Western is going to be in hot water. That's why you like your 389, Pete. I don't get water in my mirrors when I use the wash fluid since the cab. Right, they're stick way out there in those things. On the Cascadia, I will tell you that it's one of the biggest problems. Any kind of water off the windshield. In the rain, you can barely see out of the mirrors. It doesn't make any sense. Like, don't they test this thing ever? Roadrunner Reefer Vision has 4 offers on the table to buy them out. I believe it. And hopefully that happens. Because if something like that doesn't happen, this place is not going to last that long. Christina, where are the tolls going up the Pennsylvania Turnpike? I believe January 1st is raising all the tolls again. Because that keeps the road in pristine condition like it is now. A bird hits the camera and breaks, you can't drive anymore. That's the thing. What if the camera just stops working? Now you don't have a mirror on that side. What if you're going down the road, you don't have that mirror? Where are you going to get that fixed? The TA or like the Love's truck stop, they're not going to be able to fix that. That's going to be a dealer repair. I was talking about the northbound way station above Mount Eagle, so apparently that is open. Swift is best in crash. Right, I love that. Sure wish I finished training. You know, they get a lot of grief. It's certainly not the worst place out there. Handsome Poochie. Merry Christmas. Stuck in Idaho till tomorrow. See, that's the thing. I hope they at least give you a meal or something for the day. Dayton and Estes right next to each other in Indianapolis. All right, Estes, that's another one too, right? That they would have a ton of local work. Dayton is one, right? Merry Christmas to Mark and Gracie. Thank you very much for that. She appreciates it. She plans on sleeping through most of the day. Let's see. Oh, CF is another one. I see them. What is it? Central Refrigerated, whatever. I can't think of it. Wow, it's terrible today. It was run by Swift, right? It's the local division, Yellow Trailers. They're in Indianapolis. They run ads all the time, too, at 24 something an hour to start. George Wilson, grain transportation in Chicago. You got to try to get on the Best Buy account in Romeoville. All right. Always get on an account. Best way to get into car hauling. I cannot think of the name of that road. Who knows? Please. Who knows the name of that road? I can't think of the name of car hauling. There's a car hauling. Somebody's got to give me the name of it out here. Road. I did a video about it. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I did a video about a car hauler that will let you get into car hauling with no experience. Was weighing my load this morning in Waterloo, Iowa. Cop asked you if you're the K and B GPS was removable because one of our drivers had abandoned his female passenger to the stop at 2 a.m. on Christmas Day. What? Who does that? What? That driver needs to be fired. Who abandons people at 2 a.m.? And why would the GPS be removable? You can watch movies on the mirrors. Oh, great. You can have a movie show up on there. I'm in Las Vegas. I just did your DFT physical. Now you're ready for school. All right. Let's get it going. Get in school. There's tons of local jobs in Vegas, too. Oh, my gosh. Delivering to the casino. Cisco Foods got a huge thing out there in Vegas. Being over the road has allowed me to keep my 2004 Explorer Sport Track 15 years with 113,000. It does save a lot of miles on your car, right? I understand trying to save as much fuel as possible. I don't think saving fuel and money trumps safety. Agree. As long as it works, it works. But when a thing stops working, you've got a real problem. You're going to have to go into AutoZone and get a mirror and stick it on the side there to try to back up. Barry has an 85 GMC Jimmy with 75,000 miles. Yikes. Alan Payne, as soon as you turn the steering wheel, the lasers would point in the wrong direction. Well, they could have them figure that out, but I don't think the drivers next are going to like that. When backing up at past the red line, you'd be heading into the other truck. You would not see the red light. How about a camera back there? Say no to Skynet trucks. Did you see that there's a company in China called Skynet? They do surveillance in China. This is incredible. The guy who started the company, the Chinese guy, he loves Terminator and called his company Skynet. It does facial recognition surveillance of every citizen. Wonderful. Merry Christmas to the barbecue trucker. Mark, they aren't just raising the tiles, but fines when making GPS mislead drivers. Well, I mean, you can't just only trust the technology. Everybody loves it. I use GPS too, but I don't trust it 100%. Like, I'm just going to follow this. When you follow that, you never learn the roads. That's the thing about using an atlas for a while. When you just follow that, you don't learn. It's kind of like in school where you do your math. They say, well, show your work. That way they want to know that you understand how to do the problem. You know math, not just you can get the answer. That's two different things. Same thing. Use a paper atlas to get started so that you understand how the roads of America work. You can know once you're given two cities, you should be able to give a picture in your head of the interstates and roads that you're going to take to get there. Hi, Flying. Merry Christmas. Thank you. The truck next to you would have the legit, right. Did Grace get some catnip for Christmas? She does like catnip. She already has some here. Yeah, not all cats do. I want a local job 40 hours a week, $40 an hour, one drop and hook. That's pretty good. I only do one drop and hook every day. Alexandra, I accidentally had a chicken plantain. I'm here the other day. I kept checking it today, and I still have a mirror. Yikes. United Road. That's it. Dobla. Thank you. Okay, United Road is the car carrier. They will teach you car carrying, so you don't need any experience in the car carrying business. United Road will put you in that and train you to haul cars with no car hauling experience. Thank you. Going crazy. Mike Walls, Merry Christmas at home in Florida Panhandle. Super nice. Wildman, Merry Christmas. Just left the Flying J in Salina, Kansas. The Huddle House is bad, poor service, and was not good to your steak. Dang it. Let's Yelp them up. Yeah, United Road is the place. How do you have a chicken hit your mirror? I'm just kind of curious about that. Jack Cooper. Will Jack Cooper take you as car hauling with no experience, though? The barbecue trucker, less than a week till I start CDL school at Swift. They sent an email saying I don't qualify. Really? Because I have no work history within the last 12 months? Really? Well, why did they hire you? To start with, why these companies do that? And what if, so what, you don't have work history? That's why you need a job. Can't you be unemployed and get a job? What would you consider good pay for local driving? D-Ride. Depends where you live. Like in L.A., right? And here is two different things. So it's got to be, a decent. It's the first digit hourly ought to be a 2, at least. That's what I think for local driving. But the further west you go to California, right, the more it's got to pay. My name is Joe, and I live in Brewer, Maine. It's the Roller Wiener Museum, an underground invite-only type place. Can't find it. It's right there. It's right there on the map, right by you. It's right there downtown, just off the main road. People forget about LTL Central. That's it. Central Transport. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, the yellow trailer, Central Transport. They run a lot of trailers, and they have pretty good pay. Advertise a lot. Local, yes. How many percent insurance will increase of this unjust amendment? Get always in Senate. I don't know where that is going. Merry Christmas from 67 degrees St. Louis. Hey, you're only about 10 degrees ahead of me right now. Your last job was 15 months ago. You've been on disability for 9 years. Have release to go back to work. Sounds like discrimination. Yeah, almost. It kind of does. I don't get it. A lot of these companies want a work history, but if you're not working, you say, well, that's why I need a job. I haven't worked, so I kind of need to go to work. Usually you can write something. I've seen this from other companies. That's why where you'll like write a thing out and sign an affidavit that says I wasn't working during this time, because they are required to verify your employment. Okay, so if you weren't working, you weren't working. I mean, they'll only hire people that are working. That doesn't make any sense. You should get back and forth with them on that to say, well, I wasn't working. How do I verify that I wasn't working? What would they want you to do? Those local food delivery drivers feel like you're joining the Marines. It's hard work. It is hard work. Look, if you get a local food delivery job, you're going to work. But a lot of people like it. Keeps you in shape or whatever. You're working all day. And in Vegas, if you get a refrigerated load, right, you're delivering in a cool trailer all day. So not terrible. But it's work. It's certainly work. Starting with Swift next month, my first time at trucking. Any advice? Yeah, just try to soak it all in. The most problem people seem to have is the pre-trip. So try to do the pre-trip, learn it on the off time, and you just got to kind of go with the flow with it. And your trainer is going to be a crapshoot. You may get a guy that's got a decade experience. You may get a guy that's got 8 months experience. Hang in there. It gets better, believe me. And you might like it. Swift has a lot of dedicated accounts that people like. Josh is not going to brag, but it's 49 here. I'm ahead of you for that. Santa's required to have an ELD in Virginia. Yes, because he goes more than 100 air miles. Absolutely. Roller kielbasa's for Christmas. The barbecue truck, or where'd I go here? Right. At least Swift paid for your physical. Well, now you have a DOT physical that you passed. Any drive for Saya or Old Dominion? Oh, Saya would be another local company too, right? You think local owner-operator can make $5,000 in local trucking in Georgia, NSK pool? I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm not an owner-operator, and I don't know what the rates and stuff on all that is. There are, like Cassius King Trucking does owner-operator stuff. I don't know. I don't know that much about it. If there's an owner-operator in here that can give some insight to that, I don't have any idea. I had a fish at my mirror on my Sonic on I-84 by the Columbia River. An eagle dropped it. Wow, that's a great story to tell the insurance company at least. Because they're heated, right, and electric. So hope it didn't damage the Sonic mirror. Is Wiener a good company? Wiener apparently is a good starter company from what we've been told here. Santa pulled into a scale, got rode up. The light on Rudolph's nose was inoperative. Yeah, that's CSA points for Santa, too. That's not going to help in Santa transportation. It's going to lower their score. Why Christmas this year in Michigan? 0 visibility and 50-degree weather. I'll take it. Hate the snow. Yeah, you're going to get the fog from that, but at least it isn't terrible. You can get hired at someplace if you've been in jail. Why not on disability? Michael Cole, yeah. Someplace will hire you got 7 felonies. You just got out of jail, and you're tattooed up like Mike Tyson. Why can't you get a job just because you haven't worked? If you're on disability, you can use it to show your work history. That's true, too, right? Say, I couldn't work because I was on disability. So I wasn't allowed to work. The stupidest things. Swift has a lot of new trucks. Good. Alexander was driving on a rural highway in Illinois, and somebody had a free-range chicken out in their cornfield. Free range. Can these things fly up and hit a truck mirror? What is going on? How do you explain that to your company? They asked me to send them a letter from anyone stating my unemployment. I did, yet they didn't mention not being eligible to work. Yeah, that's the thing. They always want you to verify it, so that sounds right. You need somebody to verify it, or sometimes you can sign an affidavit. All right, so that's how you get the verification of your unemployment. What else do they want? Literally, what do they want? Do these trucks with the cameras on them ever park overnight? Imagine parking one of them on the south side of Chicago. Oh, yeah, that'd be really good. James Faust, who I work for. I don't ever say who I work for people that are on the new on the show on Wednesday here. That keeps them out of my videos. You got to be careful when you mention your company, and then they get kind of hinky about what you got to say. And also, I don't recruit for them. So many drivers out here recruiting. Holy moly. Merry Christmas from Commerce, Georgia. I'm Santa's favorite elf. Yes, exactly. I wish that was true. I have this other, how about this kind of truck here I never do these kind of things. Mark, you don't do tankers. Here's a tanker. A modified flatbed, I guess we would say on it. It looked like a tanker when I first put it on there, and I put tanker on there, but I actually think it's a flatbed with tubes on it now. Either way, right, there's some more Christmas cheer. Right? There's a day cab too, by the way. Actually looks more like a flatbed looking at it now. Merry Christmas, Mark, in the Trucking Answers community. Thank you for that. Insurance agent was laughing when I told the story, I bet. 7 felonies. Are they qualified for Western Express? Basically, yeah. If you can be in jail, why can't you be unemployed? I live at the border of Georgia, bordering with South Carolina. It does 100 air mile allowed across the next state. Yes, it's just a simple mileage rule. So, yeah, because otherwise nobody on the East Coast could ever get exempted. So, yeah, you can cross the state line with it. Well, for express, felonies is a minimum required. It seems like it. That's where when people say I've applied everywhere I can't get a job, I'm unfortunately say, well, have you tried Western Express? And I feel bad about even saying it. Were all these places closing, Christopher? Well, not that many more places closed. They always put it out that so many companies have closed, but you have to remember, companies closed, they have one truck. It's one owner and one truck, and that's a company. So one person goes out of business, and that's considered a company closure. That's not all these companies. A lot of these news organizations put that out there so they get people to read their site and stuff, but it isn't exactly what they're saying. Now, that's a good policy. Thank you very much. It won't matter in about a year. There'll be so much work. That's good. Keep a good record, and you should be able to get work somewhere. Merry Christmas from Stevens. You know you love us. I do love you. I just wish I knew more about you, although many people have sent in information about them, which I appreciate. It's Stevens Transport. I hope that you're doing good there. I do, though. It's a log truck. It looked like those three gigantic logs. That's possible, right? Minimum 3 prison tats. Right, that's the references they'll take at Western. Oh, you got any tattoo above the neck, right, they'll take there. Looks like a log truck. Does a school teacher who specializes in the Civil War era make a good driver? At least he has a great work history. Yeah, sure. I'm a former log truck driver. All right, so they're 3 gigantic logs. I have no idea what I'm talking about. The chicken didn't damage a truck. Nobody saw it happen but you and the chicken, I guess. Therefore, it didn't happen. I learned the other day that apparently chickens can fly for short distance. You honked at it, of course. Well, of course. Did you damage the chicken? How about that? You see the guy from May Trucking stabbed the guy in the truck stop. I heard about a stabbing. They didn't have the trucking company listed in it. If that's true, he's probably mad he had to pay for all the fuel in his truck. Well, Werner or Prime, here I come. I still have an app pending at Maverick. Swiss decision may be a blessing. Maybe. I mean, they're not the worst place. But, and since Maverick is still sitting there, I'd still write him back and want to know what I'm supposed to do if I'm not working. Does that mean you can never work because you're not working? That's the point of a job, is that you need to work. Philip B., Merry Christmas, everyone. Can you explain why 1099 is a bad move? Yeah, because you're being misclassified illegally. That's number one. AB5 does that in California for you. But look, if you drive somebody else's truck, you're not 1099. When they give you the truck, they buy the fuel, they dispatch you, you're an employee. You miss out on unemployment. They don't have to pay that. Thing is, you say, well, I don't care about unemployment. I don't care about medical. I don't care about workman's comp. Okay, but the thing is, they don't have to pay it. So they get away with not paying into that. And they get away with not paying your Social Security and all that. Even if you don't care about it, what they're doing is saving that money and not giving it to you. I never see a 1099 job for a company driver where they go, we're giving 85 cents a mile because we don't pay these things. They don't give that to you. They just keep that money themselves. All you're doing is enriching them and hosing yourself at the end of the year when you go to pay your taxes. That's all you're doing. You're never making any more money. Don't think like it's more money. It isn't. For what you're making, you can get a good company job with full benefits and do the same thing. And you're just hosing yourself. Didn't the Who talk about that? Hosing yourself, you can't believe it. I put in an app at Stevens. Oh, let me know how it goes. I'm making a Super 10 coffee table. James Faust, I will tell you this. That is probably the best thing you can do with that Super 10. Central's the bottom of the barrel LTL-wise, but better than a 38 cents a mile mega carrier. They advertise in the 20s in Indianapolis. Next year, if you don't have a job, you don't want to work. Yeah, is that what they're saying? I'm saying that's why I'm applying. The chicken was trying to cross the road. I hope it made it across the road. What's the name of that car transport company? Okay, United Road. That's the United Road is a car transport company that will take students, that will take people that don't have any car hauling experience and train you to be a car hauler. So, any updates on Colorado or the JCT lawsuit? I've heard, although I couldn't verify it, that the guy in Colorado is going to take a plea deal, which I thought would happen. But there's no verification, like, officially of that. And I haven't heard any more about the JCT lawsuit. No. Planning on calling the head of recruiting tomorrow? Yeah, let's say what? What am I supposed to do here? What do you want from me? And I'll do it. I worked for Western Express after they bought out SMX. Best thing ever to happen to me when they laid me off. Yes. It's not a great place, but if that's the only place you can get into, look, it's better than nothing, and you'll get trucking experience. But believe me, it's not great. I don't think a company would believe you if you hit a chicken because they can't fly. Apparently, we found out they can fly short distances. I'm on 1099. Shame on me. Hi, bye. Well, you're not doing any better as a company driver. Usually, I'd rather gross $1,500 on W-2 than $2,500 on 1099. That's the thing of it, though. You don't get $2,500 on the 1099. That's the problem of it. You still gross the $1,500 on 1099. You just take $1,500 home, and people think, oh, well, I'm taking all this money home. Not really. You have to pay self-employment tax on that. Then when you file your taxes, you'll have to file as a business, right? If you're an independent contractor, you say, well, I have all these expenses. Well, what are they? The company pays the fuel. The company pays for the truck. You can't deduct any of that. You don't really have any other expenses, gloves and stuff that other people might not be able to write off. You'd have to put those on a Schedule C as a small business. So you have to file. You can't file a short form. It's not worth it. The stuff you lose out on, which you think you may or may not need at some point, the company doesn't have to pay, and they're not giving that to you. Maybe if you negotiate with them, I still don't like it, and say, look, you're not paying this. I expect a split of this money to me. So that $1,500 better be $2,000 to me or something like that. But it never is. It just never is. It's a vicious circle. Back in the 80s, England was unemployed for 5 years, couldn't get a job because you weren't working. What the heck? Took going back to school to find a job. Worked constantly since then. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, you're not working? Well, we don't want to hire you. Well, that's why I need to be hired. Well, we can't hire you until you go get a job somewhere. They TAK rehired you plus raises. Oh, yeah, really? Well, why did they say, I mean, considering they let you go, why did they want you to come back? It seems like they wouldn't call somebody like that, or did they reconsider what they were doing? Ready for a new trucking job? I would think so, right. Why did the chicken cross the road? Apparently to hit Alexander's truck. Why did the bubble gum cross the road? Time for a roller wiener break? Yeah, I don't have a roller wiener Wednesday slide. Billy Gaines, can you get a shout out? You can always get a shout out here, Billy Gaines. We've seen nothing in trucking closer in 2009, even though 3 times more closed in 18. Yeah, but here's the thing, 3 times more closed. Look, the average company, 94% of companies, where did I write this down right, have under 19 trucks. Okay, almost every company is small. And if it's one person closes their one truck company, they consider that company. That's one truck off the road. Anything here about Tribe Express? There are a few people from Tribe. I've seen they have nice trucks, but I haven't heard much about them. I have seen people here from Tribe. I got a new concept for break. It's take a shower over the road driver break. I wish there was more of that. I should get a slide for that, shower break. Guy in Colorado is the reason why they come up with the mandate to increase insurance. Well, here's the thing. He didn't have enough insurance for this big accident that he caused. The people are going to get literally hardly anything compared to what he did. And the insurance hasn't gone up for many, many years. Now, should it jump 5 times like that? Probably not. But could we agree that it should go up every year, maybe just at the cost of inflation, so that the insurance keeps up with the cost of things? You know, cars and stuff are super expensive. People get a new car. The average new car is like $33,000 or something they were just talking about. You smash 3 cars, it's $100,000 right there, plus any kind of time of people in the hospital. The $750 minimum without hazmat is not a lot of money anymore. On I-10 in Southern California, some of us to keep the machine we call the U.S. running. Yes, there are still people running. Is the earth still flat? Of course, it can't just make itself around. We all know it's flat. Again, it's so sunny today, we can look outside and see it. Merry Christmas, T.J. Jones in the Bull of the Woods. It's good to see you. JCT pays for toll, scale, trailer fuel, most taxes, so where are your write-offs? Oh, yeah, the fuel for the tractor. They charge you for the fuel for the tractor. That comes out of your check. I don't know if that's actually, but they're dispatching you, so you're actually an employee. So you're actually not allowed to write that off legally. Bubblegum crossed the road because it was stuck to the chicken's foot. Oh, nice. Yikes. Tribal Express is owned by Native Americans. Good. That's good, I guess. That never matters to me, really. Of course, I think the world is flat. I live in Indiana. Yeah, that is true. Looking here, it does look flat when you look outside, really. There's nothing more you can do. Once you look out here, you do think it's flat. Why did the chicken cross the road? The trucking company went out of business. That's true. But when it's a single person, it's not like Celadon. People relate the two together, and that's not how it works. I knew someone who drove for Tribe, told me dispatch was always on the warpath. Yikes. Really? Did we really do that? Holy moly. I wanted to say this too. Don't forget about mats, okay? Sign up, go to the Mid-America Truck Show. I'll be down there at least the 27th, maybe longer. TruckingShow.com, right? There's a code you can even put in. They got a code thing. Put that in there, right? And you can get free tickets, which you get anyway. Look, come down to the truck show. I hope to see everybody down at the truck show as every year. Saw some people last year while Bill was down there for most of the truck show. Hope to see everybody down there this year. Cole, $65 for food, not many more things you can deduct. Right, you can get your per diem that way, but some companies pay per diem anyway, and so that's not as big a thing either. Go to work in food service if you need real money. It's money. It's work and money, certainly. Wyland, Merry Christmas. Look at the horizon left, right. You'll see it's flat. Obviously, if you throw something out there, roll it, it just rolls. It doesn't roll around. Christina, what about Navajo? Are they going out of business? Not that I've heard. Do you know something about them? The world still looks flat to you. You moved from Indiana to Illinois. Yeah. You got a cheaper license plate, but more taxes. So I don't know if you save or not going over that way. Well, not for you, though, right? With the car, the plate would only be $5 here in Indiana. Someone told me Sierra England's trying to merge with Schneider. Is that true? I haven't heard that. There's always a rumor that England is going to be sold this year because it's their 100-year anniversary, but there's nothing but a rumor about that. And merging with Schneider, that would be incredible. I don't know if they'd have to talk to the government about doing that because it would make such a big place. I haven't heard anything about that, about them merging, or really about Navajo. Let's see, I want to put this up here. I do this because this is just a bad time for people, right? Don't forget, right? If you need this phone number, write it down. If your friend needs it, give it to him. If you want to talk to him 24 hours a day, please call this number. There's no obligation, nothing. I don't get anything for this, certainly, other than you still get to be here, okay? There's a light on the other side of the tunnel. Call this number. Go to the website. You can even use an alias. They'll talk to you day and night. So please remember that. So someone told you, right, I don't think they're going to merge. I haven't heard anything about it. It is about 2 o'clock. I'm going to wrap up Christmas. I don't want to hold everybody out here, too long on Christmas, certainly. Well, it's depending on Swift Night. Look, they almost saved each other, really, right? Swift was about to go down the tubes, basically, when they got merged in there. So I think that kind of saved the place, really. FedEx an excuse for wearing shorts in the winter. A lot of people do that. I see it here. There's some people like that, and that's okay. Look, if you want to do it. I don't wear shorts at all, really, so wearing shorts in the winter, not going to be my thing. But there are people out 10 below zero, they're out in shorts and boots. I love it, and winter coat. Any update on hours of service? No, nothing yet. I'm thinking late winter. They haven't put anything out about it at all. Just that, we're going to do it, and then no date. Bill, right. Tried local, could not do it. 14-hour day, drove home to unwind, go to bed. Right. Look, you had too long of a route. I will say that. We have these long routes, too, and I don't do them. Some people run 15 hours or whatever because they go into their 16-hour day for local drivers. No way. I agree with you. Working a 14-hour local day and then going home, no, that's not local to me. That's not worth it to me, right? I work, my day's 8.5 hours a day at work. 14 hours is just too long of a day. You might as well be on the road then. At least you'd probably get more sleep too. That's really not any kind of day. You're only at home to sleep and go back to work. That's not really local. Tanker drivers don't get enough respect. I agree. All drivers don't get enough respect. You should do a video about companies not hiring people without a work history and contact some of these starter companies. Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, why do you have to be working to go to work? That's the idea of getting a job. All right, now I need to go to work somewhere. I mean, what are they? I'd like to know what Swift finally says about this here, about why you can't be unemployed and get a job. Why does Navajo still use an ending with blue eyes? Well, there was always talk about that. That's their logo or whatever, their motto, their mascot, I guess. That's true. Maybe you should write them a letter about it and see what they say. You're right about the tax. They completely hose your paycheck. Yeah, that's true. In Illinois, the taxes are higher. And here, I don't know if Illinois, do they do the free food there? We don't get free food. The food here in Indiana is tax-free. Once they merged, it was good night Swift. Yeah, but they're still both open anyway. Kevin Knight loves England. Knight trucks are England red. They are, but they've been talking about selling. There's like a rumor, but nothing more than that. Josh, Merry Christmas. Rodney Dangerfield said the suicide hotline was put on hold. Yeah, I heard him talk about that. Oh, he didn't even get any respect on the hotline. The earth is so big that it gives you the perception that the small area is flat. Absolutely not. It's obviously flat. We all know that. Science has proven this because if I drive one way, right, you get to the water. That's the end of it. I mean, come on. Everybody knows this. It's science. Do you consider a good company a good company? My company, I probably wouldn't start there now because they don't treat starting people that well. That I've been here 17 and a half years now helps me out a lot. But starting here, it depends where you start and what you're going to do. Mark is an owner-operator. Yeah, too much work on that. Yeah, the barbecue trucker. I'd like to know what they say. You'd say, what do I have to do to prove or whatever to get hired when I'm not working? That doesn't make any sense. We're here to hire people. And so we should hire people that are not working. They need a job. And so, you're not working? We don't want you to work here. You have to go to work somewhere, and then please call us back. That's crazy. Just stay where you're on the job longer. Get a job and stay there. It does help. Earth is flat. Lose your program so you can see. Everybody knows it. If you ever bumped into a subscriber, and would you be afraid of your company name being leaked out? No. Look, I'm not hiding anything. I just don't put it out here in these videos because you don't want to put that out there on a video, and then they're like, oh, well, now you're talking for us. You represent us. That kind of thing can happen, and I've had a number of people now write to me that got fired when they put out videos and they're showing their company in it, and then something in the video the company doesn't like. They either want you to take it down or whatever, and so that's just not worth it. And so, where I work for the videos per se doesn't really matter. And I have seen a couple of subscribers out on the road. Not as many as I thought. And but I have a couple, and that's great. And I hope to see everybody at the truck show down there. That's where I'll be next. So, and I feel the love. So come out and say hi. Just signed up for the trucking show. It is, hopefully it's yours. It is the code, right? Sign and get your free tickets. You can get them, I think, until March 1st, maybe end of February. You can go get free tickets. So if you're even thinking about going, sign up, because if you show up there, it's $10 to get in. Get free tickets to the truck show. Come on down. It's in Louisville, the end of March. It's the largest trucking show in the United States. Every company's there. Go aggravate all the bad companies and ask them questions like, why do you pay so low? And don't you feel bad about yourself every day when you pay people like this? I work 14 hours just local plus 2-hour commute, short nights, but the money is good. For me, that kind of money for those kind of shifts, that's 8 hours a day. It's not worth it. To me, it's not worth it. The money, it's not all about money for me. I want time. I can't buy time making 80 grand. I can't go and say, I'll take an extra 7 hours a day. I can't do that. So I want time, not necessarily money. There's 6 WWE trailers here. That's pretty cool. Go over and talk to those guys. Alexander, there are certain items in Illinois that are taxed and are not taxed in Indiana. I know the state has a draconian pink tax on feminine. That's true. A lot of states do that too. A lot of products that women need get taxed, and some stuff, and it shouldn't. I agree, it shouldn't. If I had a job for 6 months and your license says 12, say 11. Well, I guess you could work something out. My dad used to do that. He would work something out with his friend where he would use his friend as his reference. I worked for this person. I'm not saying to do this, and it's not really allowed, but it is something to think about. And they would call him, oh yeah, he worked for me as a good guy or whatever. I don't know. Special Boxing Day show for the Canadian fans. That'd be something, President. I do like the cross-border thoughts about Boxing Day like that. Well, who cares if they fire you? Been fired before and don't care. Well, that is a good way to do it. The reason I don't render a lot of subscribers is because he wears a lot of makeup for the show. I don't look anything like this in person, believe me. Maybe you can get the CRST to get out of their seats this year. Yeah, that was Crete. CRST was actually pretty good to me down there. Crete was the one that couldn't be bothered to even get up and answer any questions. They were like, why don't you go to the website and get all your questions answered? I'm like, well, what are you doing here then? Why are you here? And that was like a big blow up at Crete over there. I worked for Six Flags over Texas as a steam train engineer. Well, they were very strict about employees putting things on social media. Right. And so that's the thing. And if you're like that, right, and you put something out and show, you can even if you're just showing a trucking company in the back for any of you that have a YouTube channel or whatever, and then they don't like what you're saying, you can get a problem with that. They can fire you. They can say, take that down. You kind of represent us. So it's better to just not have your company in it, especially if it's not related to your company. If you're just showing a trucking thing in general, it doesn't have to be your company. It can just be trucking in general. So log trucking was 14 hours and only 30 grand. Forget that. Holy crap. Over-the-road drivers should get paid $24.65. It's not accurate. That's the minimum price for over-the-road I had calculated. They should. You should get at least that, right? Roller Wiener Wednesday extravaganza. Sorry about the lizard joke. I want the insurance to tell where these warehouses four-wheelers, their car. I didn't recognize him at first when he saw him at the truck so well, but yeah, he had no idea who I was. So because I didn't look anything like I look on the show. Right. Exactly. I don't want to hold people up here, so I'm going to say thanks for coming in here today on Christmas. It's really been great being here on Christmas. I'm always surprised people are here on Christmas Day. And Ryan O'Ryan was first, although not here on the show. And the president was first today. George H.W. Bush, though I do say that, of course. I want to say thank you, Christina, for being here today. Bill was here. Walking Journey. Who we all here? Fueless Trucker was here. Peterbilt 379. It's always good to see you. Columbia George on Christmas. Everybody's on Christmas. That's awesome. Alexandra came in today. Adrian, I love it. Cat Lift Research. Right, that's awesome. Walking Journey. Chris was here. Anonymous. The Barbecue Trucker, keep me up to date on that. I'm really curious of what they're going to say. Kyle, Columbia George was in here today. Thank you for everybody for coming in, really. Ken Harlan, I don't forget to everybody because there's so many people. Richard was here. Mike Scott, thank you very much. AZ, Papa Bear. But as Christmas, I want you all to go have time with your family or whatever, too. So I'm going to head on out today for the special Christmas show. But thank you for being here. We'll be back, of course, soon with more Trucking Answers as we go into the new year. And really this week, there'll be more special shows and at the truck show. So come on down to the truck show and say hi to me. And we'll say hi and see what's going on. We'll walk around as a big group and aggravate all these companies. But otherwise, head it out. Be safe out there today, all right? And don't aggravate the DOT guys. They got it hard enough on Christmas. I can't imagine the inspections that they're doing today, all right? So we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for being here.